Hey guys, it's Peach back with another video, and today I have an amazing tutorial planned for you all. Today I'm going to teach you how to make an amazing thumbnail without needing to know how to use Blender, Source Filmmaker, or any very advanced softwares like that. So after you make a YouTube video, you're going to want to know what it's about. So once you have an idea about what it's about and what you want your thumbnail to look like, you're going to want to launch Fortnite. You're going to want to go to creative mode or a playground and take a screenshot there. Once you launch Fortnite, if you're playing on a stretched resolution, you're going to want to change that back to native, and also you're going to want to turn up all of the settings. So once you've turned all the settings up, you're going to want to go to the locker and choose which loadout you want for skins and back blings. I just chose this. And you can go into either a creative or a playground. You go into a playground if you want a certain place on the map as your background, but if you don't really care about that, you can go to creative because you can sort of spawn in any weapons or items like that you want, which makes it a lot easier on you. But if you go to creative, you're going to want to go to the settings and scroll all the way down and make sure that record creative mode replays are on. So once you're in the creative lobby, you're just going to want to go to sort of an island with the right background. So I've actually never seen black glass island, so I guess I'm gonna try it out, see if I can get a nice shot on it. Okay, so once you're there, you don't need to start the game because there's no need to do that, but you're going to want to find a spot that you like as a background. I'll try this because I think it's a nice background. So what you're going to want to do is, for whatever video you're making, you're going to want to have a certain emotion, or let's say if it involves a gun, then you can spawn the gun in. Let's say it's a pump, like you have a shotgun, you can shoot, and then it doesn't really matter how you do it because you're just going to be able to freeze it in the replay mode and take the right screenshot for you. So then I'll get a few in. Maybe you want some building, how to make 90s. Lastly, if you're not using any weapons or items, you're going to want to use an emote because you might want to use a certain emotion that comes somewhere in during the emote. So once you do that, you're going to want to add it to your locker. Let's just say you want to do the one that's hello friend because it's like you're waving. You can do that. But a pro tip is if you want to like show something, like you're going to want to hold something, you want the Fortnite character to hold something up in your thumbnail, you can do one of the ones where they throw like an emoticon, and then right before it actually appears, it just looks like it's holding something up. So once you're done with that, you can just leave the match, and we're going to go right into the creative, or the replay. So let's just launch this creative, and once you're in, you're just going to want to fast forward to where you actually take all this stuff. So let's just look at the pump first, pump shot. If you're using a weapon and you're shooting it, you're going to want to find the exact time that your character shoots because it adds really nice lighting. So I'm just going to slow down so that we get the exact moment. So as you can see here, we have nice lighting on it, although the background is pretty bright. So what you can do is turn off auto exposure, and then you can like turn it down if you want a darker feel to it. I kind of like that more. It also makes it, yeah, this looks nicer to me. And also you can, the focal length, like if you want to zoom in. And then a big thing is aperture, is so it's like how blurred the background is. So if you want the background to be very blurred, you want to do a lower number. So I'm liking 1 point, if you want it really blurred, I'm liking 1.0 right now. If you want to change the the focus distance, then you can do that, but I think just autofocus is better. When you're ready, you're going to want to turn off all visible HUD, and along with that, to get rid of the amount of frames you're getting, you're going to want to turn off show FPS, so that you're going to have a perfect screen. So just for that, you wait for it all, the HUD to hide, and then if you have GeForce Experience, you can just click Alt F1, or on all PCs you can hold the Windows key down and then click print screen, and then that saves the screenshot. Okay, so next I did one doing 90s. You can really just mess around until you have the one you want. So to get the best angle, you can just click on drone free, so you don't have to really be attached to the character. So what you want, you can just look around for like a good moment. I don't know why that's still breaking everywhere. And you can just start moving around. I think I like this. Yeah, I like this. So then you can go back. So once you've adjusted all the settings to whatever you prefer, you can just take another screenshot. Just a note for this one, it didn't automatically focus on my character, so I had to do an automatic focus distance, but you know, that's no problem. It's pretty easy. So just turn off the HUD, take another screenshot, then you're good. Okay, so the last one is for emotes, and then this is the one where I'm waving. So I want to turn that on auto. Like that. It's looking good to me. And if you want, you can also add friends to this. So if you wanted multiple characters, you can just tell them what to do. Or if you want, you can go on a separate account on your phone if you had multiple accounts. So I like this. I'm just going to screenshot it. And then the last one is with the emoticons. Here you go. So if you wanted to not have your pickaxe in it, then what you can do is you can spawn in some impulse grenades. No, you can spawn in some gliders because they aren't shown in your hand, so it just looks like you're throwing it up. But it's fine for our case. You can just use this. We're just gonna have to wait until when my character throws it up. There we go. And if you want it to be like that, where it's sort of on an angle, just go there, and if you're not in focus, you know what to do. Just go to autofocus, turn that off, select the correct distance, which is right here. I like the aperture. Let's just mess around with this. No, I like auto. Boom. Looks good to me. Just take a screenshot of that. Or if you want it to be more, if you want him to be looking at you, you can just go like that. I prefer the other way because you know, the arm is more of the focus and it looks more natural. But you know, you can do this as well. So when you're done with that, you can, if you want, you can turn your settings back down. So once you've gotten all your thumbnails, after you quit out Fortnite, you can just launch Photoshop, or I'll link a few other softwares that are similar to Photoshop but are free. And you're just going to want to do similar things to what I'm doing. It probably doesn't need Photoshop's full abilities, but you'll just make it work. So once you're there, you can make a new composition. And you're going to want to make it 1280 by 720. You can make resolution whatever you want. I'm just gonna make it 300. I just normally do that, and the rest of this doesn't really matter. You can leave it the way it is. And then you're going to want to go to your files, and you're going to want to drag in any of those screenshots that we took. So for the sake of this video, I'll just choose the pump shot, I guess, because I think it looks nice. And if you want, you can add the Fortnite triangles. You can just look up on Google, on any web browser, Fortnite triangles transparent. Actually, I'll just link the triangles that I've gotten somewhere. I'll just share them with you. Oh, they're not the most amazing ones. I don't know where to get them from. I think they're good for our purpose and they're good enough. So once you've added those, you can add any text you want, or you can zoom in on this. Like I want the character to be in the foreground a little bit bigger. And now if you want, you can add text. Let's say we're making a video called how to make your pump shot, how to hit your pump shots. You can just make the text however you want, or we can just call it shotgun shots. And I bet you're noticing how terrible the color looks, but do not worry about the color. I have you covered for that. Next, I just want to drag the character more off the screen, or more to the side of the screen, that is, so that we more of the text shows. Okay, so next you're going to want to click on blending options. If you want some bevel emboss, which is that small effect, you can just copy these settings where I have emboss, smooth, 100% depth, size 4, like it's very small. Then I have it white screen, the highlight mode, and the shadow mode is black multiply, and so all these settings. And then next you might want to turn the drop shadow, which gives it like a very dramatic effect. And I have it on black and multiply, opacity 69% to 90-degree angle, and then these are the rest of my settings. I also have an outer glow, which is a bit blue, like whitish blue. I think the biggest thing here is your gradient overlay. So you can either make it a color overlay, which is like a solid color, but I like to do a gradient overlay, and if you want, you can make it any sort of color you want. I love this color, I think it looks really nice, but you can make it whatever you want. Here, I'll make a new one. No, I want to get rid of that. Let's say you want it to be red and maybe like orange and blue if you want. I don't really think that looks good. I'll just go back to the one I have here. If you want, I can link the two different color codes, whatever, you know, you can just paste it right in. Then a big thing is stroke as well. So you're gonna make that like an outline. It's basically like it's like an outline of your thing. So you make that whatever color you want. But along with color, a really cool blend mode is actually soft light, where it's kind of just it's basically transparent, except you just see like a little bit of something behind it, and it looks a little bit pinkier. So if you didn't really want that, you can just change the sort of glow of it. If the lighter the color, the more it sort of goes transparent. And let's say if you want something like a red color, I think it'll look good with an orange, to be honest. Unless if you want something like that, although I wouldn't really do that, you can just make the transparency, like opacity, a little less, and it'll just look a little more transparent. But you'll get the effect. And then if you want to make it look a little more like professional and nice, you can make the text go under the character. So if you want to make a new layer, you can drag that right there, and then you can use my favorite tool is the geometric, to call it the magnetic lasso tool, and then you can just start sort of tracing the outside of the character. Then you can go across, because it doesn't matter below there, it's just the text is above. And then you can click enter when you're done with that, click copy, and then go into our new layer here and just paste it. Actually, go back to where it's selected and then paste it again there. And then it'll be over that, and then you're going to want to put the text in between there, and then you're going to see that parts of it are actually covering the text that aren't actually part of the character. So you're going to select the layer where you pasted the top of the person, and then go to the eraser tool and then start erasing that to get the person back, the text back. So if you're happy with that, you can just leave it, although I think that too much of the Y is covered. You basically can't even read it. So what I'm going to do is hold shift. So for the meantime, you're just going to want to group these two things. So you hold shift and then click on both of them, and then click Control G. And then what I want to do is make it bigger so that we can move it out of the way. And then once you're done with that, you can drag that back over. It still looks not that great, so I guess I'm gonna put it back. Make it bigger again. Whoops. Group. I think that'll look good. Drag this back over there. And then if you want, you can make this a little taller. And then if you're happy with that, you can just add, if you want, you can add pictures of gold pump from the internet. Alright, so from one side we can make it a green and blue pump. Like that. And from the other side we can get a gold pump, gold or purple pump. And since the background is not cleared for that, you're going to want to go to magic eraser tool, rasterize it, and then clear the background. And then you're going to want to disable everything else. If you want to do this weird thing, you can click select and then color range, and then click on the orange, and then get rid of like literally all of it. you can then spam delete, and then boom, you have gotten rid of the background, though that doesn't look great. So in my opinion, that looks good. So we can enable everything back. You're not going to see that. I think it actually looks cool and like rustic. No, I'm gonna lock this group just because I like where it is. I'm going not rotate, but I'm going to actually flip it over. So you just want to right click and then do rotate, flip. You want to do flip horizontal, so it flips the other direction. And I like the look when it's like they're just over each other, like the way Double Pump kind of people represented it. And then you want to bring both those two things, both of those pumps below the text, because I think that looks better when it's below it. And then the last step is to make another layer. You can bring it wherever you want, and you want to go to the paintbrush tool, and you want to make it a very big. If you want, I made mine 480, and you just want to find some very bright, vibrant colors and start going all over the place with them. You'll see why in a minute. Okay, so once you've done that, you're gonna want to turn down the opacity, like whatever you want. See, it just looks vibrant, but then once you do that, you're gonna want to just go through all the different blend modes and then find one that kind of makes it look like more vibrant. Personally, I enjoy like color. I think that like exclusion looks pretty good, although you're going to want to turn down the opacity a bit so it doesn't look like too artificial. Like, I think that looks pretty good. Sort of whatever you want. I like that. I like linear dodge. I think that looks pretty good. So when you're happy with that, you can just click file. You can save it. Before I export it, I save it where I want to. I put in YouTube videos. I'll just name it vid something. Example. Save that. When you're done with that, you're going to want to click export, and you can do a quick export as PNG if you want. Enable whatever you want, save, and then you can just upload it to YouTube. So if you enjoyed today's tutorial, don't be afraid to like, subscribe, post notifications, and comment something, as it will also help you win some V-Bucks for free. I'm going to be making a lot more videos. If you want, you can make them more like this, however you want. Just comment something about what you want to see on my channel in the description. And until next time, it's Peach signing out.